Right. Okay. All right. So we're ready to rock and roll. So let me do the introduction, and then the floor is yours, Berel. So
Amazing.
let me just okay. That's about as good as it'll get. Okay. So here's the story, guys. This I already spoke with Berel. Again, we're doing the mini MBA program here. We're trying to expose you to big ideas, business ideas, so that as you get out there in the business world, you could rock and roll. So we did some other classes on business strategy. Tonight's class is on sales. Okay, that's the bottom line. No matter where you're going to be, I don't care what job, what industry you're in. Sales is almost always. I can't say always, but sales is a part of any business. Any business is selling something. You're in real estate. You're selling a product. You're online. Somehow there's sales. Now, obviously, when you're selling online, you have to do marketing also. But person-to-person sales is a part of almost any business in some way, shape, or form. It's also part of every relationship. Okay, somehow you're always selling something. You need something from a friend. In some way, sales is part of our daily life. Okay, and Berel Solomon, who's here tonight, this is the man from our community who has become the king of sales. And I don't just mean in Crown Heights and in Chabad Lodge. I mean, he really has become an incredible, world-renowned person. I mean, how long ago did you launch on LinkedIn, Berel?
About 4 years ago.
Really, just 4 years ago?
4 years ago, yes.
Anyway, so I just wanted, we'll talk about this different time. I encourage you. LinkedIn is a really cool place for business to happen, and it's nice to make a profile. A lot of times when you tell people about yourself, people Google you, and especially if you're professional and you're trying to make a professional thing, it's worth making a nice LinkedIn profile for yourself. So at least at minimum, if people Google you, they'll find that, and they'll find the professional side of you, not just your Facebook page and whatever else junk they have on you. And it's in a bottom line, but years ago, LinkedIn was very static. It was like boring. And then Berel came along, and he transformed. Really, I watched it. He transformed the way people use LinkedIn. He started posting video logs of himself, very, very personal stuff, his struggles, his challenges. I mean, he's an incredible business person who started a business from scratch and has grown into it to be a tremendous business. But his main role has been in getting out there and talking with people and making the sale. And in fact, I just noticed that Berel actually just launched, he has a website, berelsolomon.com, and he created a class that you could, so it's how much, 12 classes?
Yeah, I'm going to give your guys a code for free. It's usually a couple $100. I'll give it a code for free so everyone can get it for free, okay?
So Berel he made a course on sales. Imamish, incredible, the journey he went on, and he shared with people. He's got tens of thousands of followers on LinkedIn. He made live events. The first time ever off of LinkedIn, he created a live event for people to come network in person. First, he did it in Montreal. Then he did it here. He drew thousands and thousands of people. LinkedIn themselves took notice of the waves that he created. It's incredible, his journey. Anyway, I'm not here to rub his ego. I'm just here. I want you guys to understand who Berel is and why I asked him to come share tonight. The most important thing is he's a member of our community, and he's a passion. He wants to give back, and he volunteered to give of his time tonight to share with you a little bit of his journey and also some tips. Some basic tips on sales, how to break, most fearful part of sales that everyone's scared of is cold calling, right? But they'll talk a little bit about that. But it's much more. Truth is, when you learn sales, there's strategies to it. And once you learn the strategies, it takes away a lot of the fears. But anyway, you're going to enjoy this. Berel is an incredible business person, and he's also an incredible presence, and you'll really enjoy. So I'll just shut up, and it's all yours, Berel.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. And I just want to say that I have such respect for the Rabbi, and I feel that I told him this week, we're talking to him, that this is your shlichus. There's Lubavitch needs, I believe the Rebbe said, Lubavitch needs more gvirim. And I really respect the work that you're doing, kol hakavod. And when you guys all become rich, please remember that he took care of you guys, and make sure that you give back to him so guys like you could have an education. First of all, before we begin, am I familiar? Are we familiar with each other yet? Is there anybody in this room that I'm friends with online, or we've seen each other online? Anybody in this room? Show of hands. No.
Yes.
Yes. What's your name?
Mordechai Moskowitz.
Mordechai Moskowitz.
We'll start from the corner here, and one at a time. Everyone just quickly introduce themselves. No.
Yes,
Let's go,
just
ladies.
yes. I want. Oh, great. There's other boys in here. Perfect. So Mordechai Moskowitz, you're the only guy in the room that we've seen each other online.
We may have.
Okay, so you've seen my stuff online, yeah?
We're gonna start following you and start.
Okay, good. So I first of all, I apologize to everybody else that you don't know me yet. That is my fault, and I apologize for that. I messed up.
Forgive it.
And I have done you guys a disservice because I'm gonna light a fire under your Chassidish tuchises tonight. We're gonna go so hard, so strong.
Berel, this is Zoom webinar. One of the guys that's watching on Zoom raised his hand. I wonder if he wants to say something to you. I see Yisrael Noach. You want to talk? Yisrael Noach. I just made. You could unmute yourself and you could talk if you want to say something. Berel?
Oh no, I was just saying I'm friends with Berel on both Facebook and LinkedIn.
Beautiful. What's up, Yisrael Noach? To everybody else, I apologize. Okay, let's get cooking. We don't have a lot of time. Time is short. Mashiach is coming, and we need to make some money. So I want to understand just my demographic over here. Are you guys married? Yes or no?
Most no. There's a handful of guys are, but most are
Great.
buffering.
Guys, everyone's stop being so squeamish. It's okay. We're all friends over here. You, blue shirt, put your phone away. This is going to be the most epic 45 minutes of your life. No, not blue sweatshirt. Put your phone away. Most epic.
It's a notepad,
Okay,
notepad.
good. What I want to ask you guys, so not married, very good. You guys are Balchuvas or FFB, F from birth, otherwise we call them. Balchuva,
Everyone
FFB.
is FFB.
Beautiful, great. Even the guy in the corner. Which corner? This corner.
This is my brother.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Very good. Okay, guys, let's hop right into it. Okay, good. I'm glad that I saw him there. I would have never known that he was there. Okay, my name is Berel Solomon, 32 years old. I'm a Baal Tshuva. I'm married. I have 3 children, 2 wives. No, I'm just joking, just 1 wife. I had 3 children, 2 wives. I did tshuva when I was 20 years old. My background is I was in the nightclub business before I was from. At 17 years old, I was promoting in nightclubs. I used to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that would come follow me on Friday night to any nightclub that I snapped my fingers, and hundreds of kids would follow me there. Hundreds. I would make $5,000 a night at the age of 19 years old, cash. I was the biggest jerk you ever met in your life. One day I decided to make a reality show about my, I decided to make a reality show about my business, and because at that time Facebook was becoming very popular, the Kardashians were becoming very popular, and I decided I wanted a reality show. So I started filming my company, what it is that we did. I hired a video crew to come follow us around wherever we were. I would bring in major celebrities to nightclubs in Montreal. The biggest one I ever worked with is Drake. I know nobody here knows who Drake is because you guys are all very Chassidish. Nobody knows who that is. He's a very famous rapper, the largest in the world. I brought him to Montreal. I have video footage of it. I went to go launch this reality show online. Sorry, I went to go launch it live in a nightclub in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. It was a red carpet event. Everyone had these very fancy tickets. There was paparazzi there, the whole 9 yards, red carpet premiere. I go to show the thing online. Sorry, I go to show the thing on the big screen. I'm watching the reality show, the first pilot episode with everybody, and in the middle, it was supposed to be the crescendo, the height of my career at that point. And I saw myself on the screen, and all I stood for was drugs, sex, and rock and roll. And I said to myself, this is not the life that I want to live. And I crashed. And I turned around, and I put my pad down, and I walked out humbly of my own event, and I didn't tell anybody. I hailed the cab quietly and walked out the front door, and I never looked back. I started to look for what's good in the world. Although I was born into a Jewish family, we're absolutely not observant. We would have pork chop for dinner. On Friday night, that was our big Shabbos meal, and I decided that I wanted something better for me and my family and my life. I started looking everywhere else. I looked towards every religion, every ideology, every book you could imagine. I said to my mother one night, I would like to go to a Buddhist monastery. She said, before you go to the Buddhist monastery, go to shul. I listened to her. Today, she says, maybe I would have been better off in the Buddhist monastery. She's not sure yet if it was the right move. I went to shul. I loved it. I found Chabad. A Chabad rabbi named Rabbi Fine took me in. He showed me the ropes. I went to yeshiva for a year, and fast forward. I mean, how did I get out of the nightclub business? I decided one day I wasn't going to work in that industry anymore. I wasn't enjoying it. As a matter of fact, my boss called me on the phone one day. I started wearing a kippah to the nightclubs, and he told me, I asked him, I said, "Do you mind that I'm wearing a kippah to the nightclub?" He said, "No." I get a call the next day on the phone. "You're fired," from my boss. I said, "Thank God." I turned around my car. I screeched the tires. I remember exactly on the road where I was. It was a road called Saint Jacques in Montreal. I turned around the car. I went to go work for my father. My father's is in the metal recycling business. I turned his business with God's help from an $8 million business to a $30 million business. I did it in 7 short years. My younger brother started to come into the business. We are all alpha males. We were all trying to do the same thing. We were fighting like cats and dogs. One day, I almost got into a fist fight with my brother inside of the warehouse. I come home from work. I told my wife, she saw the look on my face. She said, "You are going to start your own business, and you are going to be great, and you're going to inspire millions of people when you do it." I opened a company called Wealthy Commercials. I sat down with a pen and a piece of paper. One second, I'm going to...
Yeah, you could share, but if you want to share anything, is that what you're trying to do?
No, I want to plug in my computer.
Wealthy commercial.
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
My wife said, "Start your own business." I sat down with a pen and a piece of paper. I wrote down all the things, all the businesses that I thought were potential good businesses for me. I chose video production. I never looked back. I launched my company with God's help. In our 3rd year, we hit $2 million in revenue. It's a beautiful company, very high profit margins. I get to live the life that I want. I'm living in Panama now for the winter because I'm not coming back to the lockdowns and all the chazarai going down to Montreal. So I decided I'm going to live here. Therefore, I am here today to help you guys. I'm very passionate about helping young men and women make a living, make a lot of money with God's help. Is anybody in this room planning on becoming a rabbi? Raise your hand. Is anybody in this room planning on becoming a shaykhet? Raise your hand. Is anybody in this room planning on becoming a malamed or a Rosh Yeshiva? Raise your hand. Okay, if you're not planning on doing all those things, maybe Rabbi Word's brother is going to be Rosh Yeshiva, who knows? But if you guys are not planning on becoming any of the above, then that means by default, you will be a professional or a business person in one way, shape, or form. And it is your responsibility to make a lot of money because the needs of the Jewish people are great. And I see so many people crashing around, getting by, barely paying their expenses, scrounging. You guys all probably watched your parents scrounge for rent and scrounge for Shabbos and scrounge for Hanukkah gifts. And you guys probably had to share a meal when you went to Izzy's Smokehouse. Because some people in this room, your parents could not afford to pay your tuition, let alone to make sure that you could order your own brisket. Lo aleinu. It is selfish to be poor. It is an avera to be poor. And we are going to be rich with God's help. You have to know how, and you have to have the desire, and you have to know that it is okay to be rich. Rich people are good people. Money is good. You could do good things. A Beis Chabad is nothing without the support of the Balabatim. Issachar had Zvulun. Every Balabas, every Shliach has Balabatim that are arguably more influential. You know, I have a shtickle taina with Lubavitch. I don't want to get too much into it, but I have a shtickle taina that if you don't go on shlichus, you have a problem. And your problem is that you do not have the tools in order to make a big not a proper parnasa. No one here is looking to make a proper parnasa. Nobody says to the rabbi, you know what, rabbi, you should have a proper shul, have a small shul, have just enough congregants to get by. No one tells the rabbi that. They say, go build the biggest Chabad you could build. And no one says to the Rosh Yeshiva, just make a small yeshiva, be humble in your yeshiva. They say, build the biggest yeshiva on the biggest mountain. But when it comes to a businessman, we have to be humble, money, fed. Where did this come from? I don't understand. I want to rewire your brains to believe that it is possible to make a lot of money. It is kosher to make a lot of money. Money is not a bad thing. Money is a good thing. But we have to first expand our minds. You know, a goldfish, I don't know if you guys know this or not. A goldfish usually dies very young. Why? Because the goldfish is confined to a very small tank, a bowl. Let's call it a cup, okay? And it's stressful for the goldfish. That's why they stay small. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a goldfish in the wild. They grow big. They can grow to a foot long, thick. Why? Because they're open. They're in an open space. The brain is the same thing. When you think small, you will stay small and a person will die. When you think big, when you expand your mind, you could grow and you could hit your potential. And I want to congratulate you guys for coming here tonight and sitting here when you could have been doing anything. You guys could have been playing Fortnite. You guys could have been on TikTok. You guys could have been on Netflix. You guys could have been, I want to say learning a mimer. You guys could have been doing anything. That's also good, by the way. That's kosher, 100% kosher. Not only is it kosher, it's encouraged. But you guys could have been doing anything tonight, and you came here to learn about business, to invest in yourselves. And I want to congratulate you for that very strong move. Round of applause for the people. Yes. So now the question is, great, Berel Solomon. Thank you very much for telling me how good money is, as if I did not know that already. Please tell me how to make it. So there's a few ways that you can make money. Number one way to make money is, most people choose this route. You go to work for somebody else. So it's a pretty convenient thing to go work for somebody else because you have a salary and you're guaranteed your parnasa. The problem is with working for somebody else is you hit a ceiling eventually. So let's say your salary is 60 grand. Actually, hang on, before I go on with the spiel, I just want to get a feel for the room here. In this room, does anybody currently have a job? Raise your hand if you do. Yeah. Could I just hear a few things that you guys are doing?
We'll quickly go around the table. Go ahead.
Very quickly, your name and your job.
Sure. David Wordy, real estate.
What does that mean? Real estate agent?
Correct. Rentals in Brooklyn.
Rentals?
Yes.
Have you made any deals yet?
Yes.
Good man. Proud of you. Yes.
Yeah, mental blank,
Oh.
construction management. Oh, just turned off.
We lose it? Uh-oh. Berel? We lost him. Hold on, guys. Let him come back in here. Hold on one second. He dropped out. We got to wait for him to come back in. What's going on here? Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry, guys. My phone died. My computer died.
All right, you're back on. I gave you permission.
Great. Sorry about that, boys. Mr. Word. It wasn't anything you said. Don't worry. Hang on one
Right.
second. Is this better or is this better?
That's better.
This way,
Second.
this way. Now,
This way's better?
yeah.
Great. Okay. Yes, let's keep on going.
Okay, quickly, go for it.
Yeah, mental blank. I work in construction management.
What do you do in construction?
Management.
Okay.
Manages the
fine.
site.
I'm working as a site manager right now.
Great. Cool. Let's keep on rolling.
Let's give me. No.
Nothing.
It's good. Just say your name anyway. No.
Shimon.
Aspiring entrepreneur.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful, Shimmy. Beautiful. You're going to do it. You're going to do it, buddy.
Bartosz Daszewski. I work at B&H.
Beautiful. What do you do at B&H?
Service desk technician.
Great.
Menachem Ives, Amazon Warehouse Manager.
Nice.
Amazon Business Warehouse Manager.
Nice.
Inky Roskin. I do sales for Roskin's Fish, and I'm also working on an initiative with CHYU right now to promote small businesses.
Mazel tov.
Howdy, Naach Zeiler. Currently working with my friend Menachem Ives, who works in Amazon Warehouse. God willing, leaving that work. So,
Okay, great.
Mordechai Moskowitz. I teach English in Williamsburg as well as Hebrew to Jewish boys, and I'm a mashkiach at a nursing home.
Great.
David Alias, and I supply PPE to hospitals.
Nice. Hang on. That's your own business. You make deals, you work for somebody else.
No, it's my own business.
So what, you like work on WhatsApp, like you find guys, like how you finance it,
In the beginning, financed it and whatever. Yeah, just made relationships and
are you making money?
yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Mazel tov. Great.
Levi Mangel. I do sales for a consumer electronic wholesale company.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, now 1 second. There's 4 people on, 5 people on Zoom. Quickly. Abba, I just made you could talk for a second. Introduce yourself. Abba Volasov? Okay. All right, next, Mendy. You want to just quickly introduce yourself? No one wants to talk. Shmuley Sandhouse, you want to introduce yourself for a second? No. Yisrael Nayach. Oh, they're all on mute. You have to unmute yourself if you want to. I gave it a power to unmute yourself.
I do a little bit of PP and marketing, or I'm trying to do marketing.
Okay. Okay, good.
All right, go Berel, go for it.
Okay, cool. We're okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm plugged in now. 5% available, plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna let it charge a little bit more. Okay, where were we? Okay, that's good information. So, could you point it down a little bit, Rabbi?
Yeah, well, sorry.
Everybody could hear me properly, right? Or it's a little bit hard to hear me.
No, you're good. You're loud. You're nice
Great.
and loud.
So I want everybody in this room. First of all, I'm very proud of you guys for working. That's a big step up. You know, I know so many people that don't work, and blue sweatshirt, young man, handsome young man, aspiring entrepreneur. You're going to do it. That's why you're here. So I want to tell you a story about a boy who was working at McDonald's. 2 boys working at McDonald's. One of them was absolutely miserable and hated every single day of his life because he was earning $7.90 an hour. And the next boy next to him was earning the same $7.90 an hour, but he was so happy. Why? Because the second boy had a dream to open up his own line of franchises, of McDonald's franchises. And every burger that he flipped was the biggest joy of his life. And every day that he went into work, he treated it like it was university. And this boy ended up going on to found 150 McDonald's locations. The guy is a multi 100 millionaire today. So 2 boys were working the same job, but they had different kavanas. So each person in this room right now I don't want, look, again, it depends what you want in your life, guys. It depends, there's two ways to live. A person could earn $60,000 a year. The problem is the rabbi will tell you this, 60 grand a year, 70 grand a year, 90 grand a year, when you have a family of 5, 6, 7 kinderlach, especially in Brooklyn, does not go very far. After taxes, that 90 grand is now 60 grand. After rent, that 60 grand is now 20 grand. After food, there's nothing left even to pay tuition. So it depends what a person wants in their life. I assume that you guys want abundance in your life because you guys came to a business seminar. So I assume that you guys want abundance in your life. So I'm going to go based on that assumption. So every day that you go into your work, whether it's B&H or whether it's selling PPE or whatever it is, or you guys are working in an Amazon warehouse, I want you starting tomorrow morning to change the way that you're looking at that job. Don't look at it for the figurative $7.90 an hour or whatever you guys are getting paid, $20 an hour, whatever it is. Look at it as a university, a place to learn. How is business done? How does it happen? What does an operation look like? And use that opportunity to learn, not to learn a job, but to learn a business, meaning instead of looking at your specific particular job, with blinders on, try to look at the company. And I would even take one step further, is the way to make the most money is two ways. Way number one is to obviously own your own business. Way number two is to be in sales. You guys writing that down? Way number one is to own your own business. Way number two is to be in sales. Those are the two best ways to make money. Now, the funny thing is in order to own your own business, at least in the beginning, you have to know sales. So sales is a very important thing to get to know. So what I would suggest to everybody in this room is, first of all, let me just, so everybody understands why sales is the most amount of money, is because the closer you are to the revenue stream, the more money you're going to make. Let me give you an example. The janitor after hours in an office has nothing to do with the revenue of that company. He has nothing to do with the products. He has nothing to do with the service. He has nothing to do with the sales, nothing. And therefore, the janitor makes the least amount of money in the entire company. As you go up the food chain and you get closer to the revenue, let's say the secretary makes more because she's a little bit involved, and the accountant makes so much more because they're very involved in the revenue. And then you have the salespeople who are the closest to the revenue. They're the closest to the money, closest to the client. And therefore, they make the most amount of money in the business. The closer you are to the revenue, the more money you're going to make. So if you could learn this skill called sales, you will become rich because you are close to the revenue. So my practical advice to anybody in here is if you're not already in sales, let's say you work at B&H, or let's say you work at the Amazon warehouse, use the relationship that you have already with your boss for an opportunity to go into sales. So ask your boss tomorrow morning, say to him, hey boss, I want to be more involved in sales. And at B&H, that might be, they move you to the marketing department. In the Amazon business, it might be, I don't know if it's a third-party warehouse that they're running. I don't know what it is, but you want to get close to the sales portion of it, because that is where the money is going to happen. And you want to do the same thing. You want to learn. You want to be there and you want to learn that business. You want to learn it from the inside out. And you want to learn that skill. And eventually, once you understand that skill, you work there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, then you could go venture off and start your own business, because you'll have the warehouse experience, you'll have the sales experience, and then, God willing, eventually you'll go open your own business. And that is the path for you guys to success. Could somebody give me the path? Can somebody repeat it back to me?
Start off as the janitor, work your way up to the secretary, become an accountant, move to sales, start your own business.
Yes, good, but right now everybody more or less is a janitor from my perspective, except for the one guy that was in sales, and the PPE guys. So you don't have to become the secretary, and you don't have to become the accountant, and you don't even have to work your way up. The nice thing about sales is there's no people don't like to do it, so you don't have to.
Let's
You
talk
don't. It's not
about
like you have
that.
to.
You want to talk? Let's talk
What?
about why people don't like it and how to overcome it. How to.
Yeah, people don't like rejection, and the way to overcome it is just to learn how to do sales. And the way to learn how to do sales, everybody, please write this name. What's funny? Green shirt in the back. I'm curious. It's okay. I want to know. I want to be in the room with you. It's hard not to be in the room. What's up?
Lie down.
What? What did you say?
I don't remember.
Okay. Why don't people like to do it? Because people just don't know how to do it. So everybody, please write this name down. This person is going to change your life forever. Okay, you guys ready? Write this name down. Forever, he's going to change your life. Lahavdil ben Kodesh L'chol. He changed my life. I'd say the people that changed my life the most is Lubavitch Rebbe, and then Lahavdil Donald Trump, and then Lahavdil this guy Grant Cardone. Write the name down. Grant Cardone. He's the #1 sales trainer on planet Earth. He will train you on how to become a sales ninja. And once you know how to do sales, you could do anything in the world. You could sell airplanes, you could sell ice cream, you could sell fish, you could sell real estate, you could sell anything that you want. But sales is the key.
You're going to share some of Grant's ideas tonight, right?
Sure, I'll share some stuff that I have in my master course. My pleasure. So here, what's that?
It's 10x. Yeah.
10x, right? So he has a concept called 10x, which means more or less that you have to put 10 times the amount of energy, and you have to make your goals 10 times as big, and you should expect it to be 10 times as hard as you originally thought it was. Exactly. So let's do a little bit of role playing, okay? We're gonna do a little bit of role playing. Let's go with the PPE guy. Okay. Handsome guy on the right. Yeah, there you go. Which one of you is in PPE? You guys are both in PPE? Yes. Okay, great. So let's assume that I am a hospital. Okay. I sold a little PPE myself. I was probably the largest distributor of masks in Canada for 2 straight months. When the pandemic hit, everybody said, "We're in this together." I said, "Yeah, right. I'm in this to make money." And I took my wife and I took my wife's minivan and I stripped it down to the bone. And I found investors and I found suppliers and I found customers, and I pushed tens of millions of masks through her minivan myself, delivering them all throughout Canada. I was a mashugana, and I made a lot of money with Hashem's help, and I gave a lot of tzedakah from that. By the way, that's a big secret to making a lot of money. So I know a little bit about the PPE business. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to practice sales, okay? So what is your #1 objection that you're hearing, PPE men? What is your #1 objection that you're hearing to getting your PPE in the door of hospitals?
Maybe they already have suppliers already.
Great. Perfect. That's your #1 objection?
Maybe. Yeah.
Great. So
Yeah.
let's pretend for a second like I am, the hospital mumser that buys the stuff, okay? So I'm going to be that person, and you just pitched me your PPE Chazarai, and I'm going to tell you that thank you very much, Mr. PPE man, but we already work with so many suppliers. I'm really not interested. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
All right. Oh, what do I say?
What do you say?
So I would probably have the number.
No. Talk to me like I'm the PPE mumser.
Oh, I'd say, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, great. That's why we're doing this course. That's why we're doing this class together. So
Let's do it.
we're gonna reverse the roles, okay? So I'm gonna be the PPE guy, and you're gonna be the hospital hotshot, okay? And I just did my song and dance, and here's our new product, and it's the N95, and it's the best, blah, 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 blah. I have so much stock, it's right here in Brooklyn, and my price is 65 cents a mask. And yeah, are we ready to right now?
So we're all stocked up. I'm sorry.
We lost your sound.
Is that better?
Now, yes, yeah.
Great. We're all stocked up. That's what they tell you? That's what they say? They say we're all stocked up, or they say we have other suppliers?
Okay.
What's that?
Okay, both. They're both. They say both.
Great. You say to them something like this. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that. You know, so many people are still struggling with PPE. It's very frustrating out there. I'm so happy to hear that you're taken care of. Keep on doing the great work that you're doing. If you don't mind me asking, what do your PPE needs look like? Are you ordering, like, how many masks a month are you guys going through? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000? Like, how many are you guys going through?
So 50,000 a month. That's
50,000 a month? Okay, that's great. So are you guys ordering right now, like monthly, or are you ordering quarterly, yearly? Like, what is your ordering cycle look like?
I can't tell it to you over the phone.
Oh yeah, okay, I totally understand. You know, I agree with that. It's important to keep confidentiality. So let's say you're doing 50,000 a month, right? So would it be okay with you if I reached out to you next month to maybe put in a bid on that order?
Okay.
Great. By the way, nobody says I can tell you that over the phone. That's not true. Am I right? Nobody says that.
They won't say the price they got it for over the phone.
Hang on, I didn't ask you the price. I didn't ask you. I asked. I agree with you. So how often are you guys ordering? Are you ordering monthly, quarterly, yearly? How often are you guys ordering?
Depends to my manager. Whenever she tells me to order, I place an order.
So now you're speaking to the wrong person. That's a whole different problem. Great, no problem. What's the manager's name?
Karen.
Let's say Karen.
Karen? Great, that's amazing. Would it be okay with you if I reached out to Karen just to say hello to her so that when she goes for her next bid, she has my information?
No, she's too busy.
Not a problem. I totally agree with you. I understand. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to flip her an email. I'll CC you just to introduce myself to make sure she has another option. Is that okay?
You could email the procurement office, and whenever we're interested, we'll reach out to you. Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate it. So would it be okay with you if I reach out to you a month from now when you guys might be in a position to order? I'm sorry if I'm coming off pushy. I just really believe in my product. We have great prices, and I would love to do business with you guys.
Take down the general procurement email, and whenever we're interested, we'll reach out to you.
That's amazing. I appreciate that so much. You know what? I'm actually going to be in your area next week. I know you're a busy person. I'm going to send that email to procurement. Would it be okay with you if I left a sample box with your secretary when I'm around the hospital next week?
Due to coronavirus, we take 6 feet, but you can mail it. You can mail it to the office.
Beautiful. Not a problem. I will send it to you. You'll get it by next week, and I'll send you a quick email to ask you how you liked it. Is that okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Next month, I'm going to send a calendar invitation on Google now to meet with you next month to just check in with you to see if I could put in a bid. Is that okay with you?
No, we can't do that. We don't accept visitors.
Okay, but now this is not what people really say. So we don't
accept visitors.
Hang on, but you're not helping the people in the room because that's not actually how it goes down. So now I'm doubting even if you really even are in sales. Let's go to the real estate guy. Thank you. Mr. Word, let's go.
Yeah.
How you doing? Let's go real estate. By the way, I just wanted everybody to see there. I just wanted everybody to understand. If the window is closed, if they close the window, we open up another window. So the person tells us, I'm sorry, we already have enough inventory. Great. We all know that PPE is a disposable. So we know that every quarter, every month, every day, these guys are blowing through masks. So if they say no for this shipment, that's okay. We want to get in the door on the
Next order.
Next
next
order.
shipment. Yes. By the way, I'm sorry if I ended it a little bit abruptly, PPE guy, but that's not what people do. So, and I really want to make sure we value our time here, and people are getting a lot of value out of it. I'm sure you're an amazing guy. I'm sure you make a ton of deals. If I came off too harsh, please forgive me. Okay, so let's shift gears. By the way, give me PPE guy one more time. Let's see if we're gonna give you a chance to do tshuva. Okay. I am going to be the procurement guru at the hospital. You are calling me, you just pitched me on your N95 Chazarai. I'm going to tell you, thank you so much, PPE guy, but we already have our inventory. Thank you very much. Go.
How much do you generally use throughout every month? I mean,
Great.
throughout
Great. So first of all, exactly. You asked the right question, but she already shut the door. So you have to bring a little charm in there. So you have to tell her how amazing she is, how great it is she's doing her job properly, and she's stacked up, and she's a hero and saving the world. Okay. So first, give me that. So give that. We're already stocked up.
It's a tough time right now. It's very great to hear that you're taking care of your hospital and the nurses and keeping everyone safe. So that's it.
And I'm proud of you.
And I'm proud of you.
And you're amazing.
You're amazing.
If you don't mind me asking, how often are you guys ordering? Weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly?
If you don't mind me asking, how often do you guys order? Weekly, monthly, yearly?
Yeah, we do it about monthly. Yeah, we do it monthly.
How much do you go through each month?
Yeah, we're looking about 50,000 masks a month at this point.
Is it possible if I could send you a sample of our product and possibly, with great price range, we could work something out?
Right. So good, but you went a little bit too fast. I want you to say something like, "That's great. I understand you have your stock this time. Would it be possible to put in a bid next month?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how often? Yeah, we do it about monthly.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great. That's good to hear. Is it possible we could put in a bid for next month?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, sure, we're always looking for new bids.
So could I mail in an address and also email you the tracking number for the UPS?
Perfect. You don't even want to tell you that. You want to say something like, "I'll tell you what, I'm in your area next week. I'm going to drop off a sample of one of our products. Let me get it over." You probably have different products all the time, no? Or is it one line of?
It's different products.
Is it one line of mass, or it's all kinds of other chazarai? I wouldn't even go the sample route, to be honest with you. I would say to her something like, "Would it be okay if I reached out to you in a month to get on the bid list?"
Okay.
Go for it.
Would it be okay if I reach out in a month to get on the bid list?
Yeah, sure, Shug, no problem. Okay, good. Guys, round of applause for our PPE brother over here. You redeemed yourself. You guys see the difference, right? So we went from, he got shut down completely. No, we have, to all of a sudden, he knows how many masks they order. He knows when they order, and he's now on the bid list. Right? Just because somebody says no doesn't mean it's no. Good job, buddy. You want to go? You want to try, Mr. Word?
Sure.
What's the biggest objection that you get?
Sure.
That you
So
get
I mean, what I do is I show apartments that I have access to and I try to rent them out. So I would say the biggest issue is, especially now where there's like more inventory than ever, the biggest issue is that there's just so many options for people. And so the possibilities, or they could easily find another better place. So it's not me selling the apartment kind of sells itself. And if they're seeing something else that's better, they'll take that one. I would say that that's my biggest problem.
So let me ask you, why is there a lot of inventory? Because people can't afford rent, so they're doubling up with their parents and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of people have moved out. Thousands and thousands of people have moved out of the city. So there's just inventory is higher than ever and things are cheaper than ever. It's twofold. Because there's more than ever, it's cheaper than ever. So there are people still moving, but the main issue is because there's an abundance, they can easily find a better.
So what's your so what do they physically tell you? So you follow up with them after the viewing and you say, hey, so did you think about the place, the location?
Sure. Yeah.
And then they'll tell you what comes out of their face.
Sure. I mean, a few different options, but they'll tell you either what they didn't like about the apartment and why it doesn't work for them, or they'll tell you that they went with another option.
And I guess you don't have exclusives with these people. They do whatever the hell they want.
These people, meaning the clients or the apartments?
Yeah, with the clients. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, definitely no exclusives. They reach out to, tens and
You have
20s.
you have listings for apartments or no? You just show other people apartments.
Me personally?
Yeah.
So I work for a brokerage and my broker has hundreds of listings that I have access to all of them and show.
Right. Okay, fine. So let's do that. Okay. Let's do look, let's say out of 100 showings,
Sure.
at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want regardless of what you say.
Yeah.
But if you're able to squeeze an extra 10% out of those 100 listings, it would change your year. It would represent an extra $30,000-$40,000 of revenue for you a year.
Sure.
What do you get? The first month rent? That's your fee?
We get a percentage of the first month's rent normally.
Which is what? 10%, 100%, 50%?
My personal split,
Yes.
you're asking? Yeah, 60%. Yeah.
60%.
Correct. Of
Right, so-
usually the 1 month's worth.
Right. So on a $4,000 deal, you're walking away with $2,500.
Whatever it comes out to, yeah.
Let's say, right. So if you made an extra 10 deals a year, saved an extra 10 deals a year, you're saving yourself 25 G's.
Yep.
Great. So let's try to save some of those deals together. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm going to be the client. Yeah, I really like you and everything, but that apartment, just so much inventory right now, and I'm just not ready to make a commitment because I know, Shug, that there's other inventory on the market.
Sure. Well, I totally understand that. There's definitely lots of apartments on the market. If you don't mind me asking, what's your budget? Your locations. What would you say your priorities are for a unit? Maybe I have some other options for you.
Look, so guys, this guy's a professional. He knows what he's doing. Meaning you're good, Mr. Word. He knows what he's doing. He agreed with the client. Rule number 1 in sales, you always want to agree with the client. The client says there's other inventory on the market. You say, I agree with you. There is other inventory on the market. My only thing that I would tweak, may I tweak it a little bit?
100%.
The only thing that I would tweak it, you went too fast. I feel you went too fast to another property, with budget and all those other properties. You spent time taking them to that apartment. Your time is valuable. Your time is money.
Sure.
So before you throw away this apartment, let's try to sell them on it. If you cannot sell them on it, yes, then I agree, pivot to the new location and the new budget.
Sure.
Okay.
I went off of what you said, though. You said there's just so much in the market. So already you moved past the apartment. So that's why I went to other options.
So this is what I would do. Okay. So I'm going to be you be the client. Tell me that there's too much. You know what? I saw it, but I heard there's a lot of inventory on the market. I'm just not ready to make a decision. Go for it. Tell me that.
Hey, Berel, lovely meeting you. Thanks for showing me the apartment. I don't think it's a good fit for us. I know there's a lot of inventory in the market. We're going to take a look and see what else is out there.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is a lot of inventory on this market. And I also agree with you that it has to be a good fit. May I share with you some reasons why I actually love this apartment?
Go ahead.
So I actually love the location. If you realize it was right next to the school. I love where the bus stop is. This is a safe neighborhood. If you saw the square foot is 1,000 square feet.
Let me stop you. Nothing to do with our conversation. Just legally, you can't say if a neighborhood is safe as a real estate agent. Side point.
I felt great in the neighborhood. Did you see the people around there? I felt really good.
Right.
Whatever. Right. What?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
Talk about how nice. Talk. What's that?
Oh, so everyone enjoyed your comeback.
Oh, I felt nice there. Fine. Right. Exactly. I felt real good in the neighborhood. Did you see how nice the people were as we were smiling, walking by? I love the neighborhood. From my experience, Betty Sue, as I got to tell you, this apartment happens to be a great deal for the value that you're getting. You maybe want to see it again and go for it.
I think if I could say, I think you're overselling it when it comes to like apartments in real estate. They sell themselves, and people that are moving, unless they're moving from a different neighborhood or out of state and they don't know, then that's where you'll sell the neighborhood and you'll sell, the kind of the features of it. But this is my personal take, is that when you start overselling things, it turns people off. There's something there that they don't like. So it's not necessarily I can sell them. They're reaching out about this apartment because they're interested in it and the location it's in. But if they see it in person and they don't like something about it, usually it's a no-go.
Look, again, I'm not saying spend 30 minutes on it,
Right.
but you invested your time and energy, and they saw pictures of it, and they knew the location, and they know everything. Sometimes people are on the fence and they just need a little push over. So spend a few minutes on it. If you see you're getting pushback, don't abandon it so quickly. Meaning don't abandon the apartment that you show them so quickly. But if you see that you're getting pushback, then you pivot. And you see they're really not having it, great. What didn't you like about the apartment? I didn't like the blinds. I didn't like the this. I didn't like the that. They might tell you they don't like the blinds.
You're saying don't lead with asking that. So if they say, if you're the real estate agent, you follow up with me and I say, we're just gonna continue looking on what's out there, right? So you're saying that in this case, your initial response shouldn't be, okay, no problem. I understand that. Can I ask you what you didn't like about the apartment? I shouldn't lead with that.
Again, every client is a little bit different. It depends if it's their first apartment. You'll feel it out. I trust your judgment. You always want to agree with them. No matter what they say, you want to first of all agree with them. They tell you they don't like the neighborhood. You say, I agree with you. The neighborhood sucks, but did you see those windows? Right. They say, you know what? There was a dead man there was a dead person shot in the alleyway right next door. I agree with you. That was terrible. But those hardwood floors, how could you say no? It's going to be like, always agree with them, justify their meshikas, and then try to sell it. And they might tell you that they don't like the floors. To say, do you mind if I ask you why you didn't like it? And they might say, you know what? The floors look really old. Great, Mrs. Betty Sue. If I speak to the owners and I could get those floors redone for you before you move in, would it be a go? Yeah, it would be a go for sure. If you could do that, for sure. See what I mean?
Sure.
You as a real estate agent run the risk. As soon as that person goes to another real estate agent, you're toast. You're out of the game. Right? Once that mouse is in that trap, you got to snap. And usually people's default is underselling. The Rambam says that if you want to correct something that you have and you want it to be in the middle, if you're completely on the left, bend the stick all the way to the right, and it will come back to the middle. Okay, so usually our default is underselling. Right. So don't be scared to oversell. You lost the deal anyways. They're not renting with you anyways. You may as well go for the jugular.
Okay, and what do you think can come from overselling, or not necessarily overselling, but selling it a lot? What could come from it?
Like I said, I think you're going to save at least 10% of your deals.
Okay.
Good, thank you. Okay. Who else wants to go?
So 1 second. I want to back this up, if you don't mind, because we got so many, not so many people. We hit the 2 people that are doing the sales. The rest aren't. If we could maybe broaden the conversation into 2 things. Number one is, let's first of all, the fear of cold call, of cold calling. Let's talk a little bit about breaking that ice. And then if you could just unpack the principles of what you just did for everyone else who doesn't necessarily always do sales.
Yes, that's actually very intelligent. Let's do that. Why is my computer not charging? Okay, the principle is like this. The principle is, just because somebody is saying no does not mean that it's no. I mean, when it comes to a woman, if she says no, it's no. But when it comes to a business transaction, a sales transaction, just because somebody says no, you have to understand why the answer is no. And once you understand why the answer is no, then we could deal with it. So if they tell me I don't need masks, okay, great. How often do you order? You're going to need masks eventually. They tell you, I don't like the apartment. Great. Why? Because of the floors. Great. We could fix the floors. So you want to understand why no. You go to your boss at the Amazon warehouse, you say, boss, I want to get into sales. He says no. Great. I agree with you, boss. I totally understand. You're absolutely right. You run this business. You're a very smart man. I trust your judgment. If you don't mind me asking, is it me? Is it the department? Or is it the company doesn't need sales? Which one is it? And he's going to tell you, it's the sale. It's the department. Great. What about the department, sir? Does it not have enough money to support my salary? Does it? So you want to, first of all, you want to uncover the hidden objection. Somebody's telling you no, there's a reason. You go out with a girl on a shidduch and she says no to you. There is a reason why she said no. It might be because she didn't like talking to you. It maybe she didn't like the way you were dressed, and maybe she didn't like your brother, your family. Who the hell knows? There's a reason why. If you find out the reason why, we could deal with it. You don't like the way I dress? No problem. How would you like me to dress? I'll dress however you want. Right? You guys understand? You have to uncover the hidden objection. And always agree with the client. Always agree. I agree. You have to make people feel smart. People are justified in the way that they feel. Okay, so let's keep on going. Let's keep on going to the other guy.
1 second, but can we talk a little bit about cold calling? So far, the discussions that you already got on the phone, a lot of people have a phobia with even getting on the phone before they even, you have any recommendations for that?
Look, it depends which industry you're in. It depends which industry you're in for cold calling. You know, maybe people might not want to hear this, but I suggest never making a cold call ever in your life. There's a reason why they call them cold calls, because they're cold. That's like saying a cold shower. And why don't you like cold showers? Because nobody likes cold showers. And that's why nobody likes cold calls, because they're cold. So the way to build business quickly is by finding warm calls. How do you find warm calls? My personal favorite is becoming a celebrity in your space, utilizing social media, posting on LinkedIn, posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, posting on WhatsApp status, becoming a celebrity in your space. I could pick up the phone to 90% of every frum Jewish businessman on planet Earth, and they will answer my phone call. Why? Because they know me from LinkedIn, or I know somebody on LinkedIn that knows them, that thinks that I'm famous, and they could set up a phone call for me. So my number one favorite way to never make a phone call is to make yourself a cold call, is to make yourself a celebrity. Because even if you are making a cold call, it's not cold when you get on the phone with them. It's warm because they know you, or they know somebody that knows you.
That's great.
That's my personal favorite way. Don't be ashamed that you have a beard and yarmulke. Okay, I want to just help the other guys here that are not in sales right now. Okay, one guy proudly said that he was on the right hand side, that he was leaving Amazon. Yes. Where are you going?
No idea yet, but I know that that's not where I want to stay.
Okay, so my humble suggestion to you is wait until, first of all, explore if there's other opportunities within the organization that you're working in. Okay. Preferably in sales. What does the company do?
Sales on Amazon. They don't need sales.
Uh-huh. I mean, you'd be surprised because even in Amazon, you still have to buy the goods to sell them. And
Right, except that the boss and his wife are personally the ones doing it, and that's where they want to keep it that way. Regards to
so
purchase and sourcing.
do you have any desire to move into the actual like selling of the stuff online, like the marketing of it online, or no?
There is no space for that within the company. They keep basically all the real stuff between themselves.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, so my suggestion to you is do not quit until you have another job lined up.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm sticking it out in the meantime.
Great. Great. Your best
But-
your best negotiation is when your plan B is better than your plan A. Let me just repeat that again for everybody. Your best negotiation is when your plan B is better than your plan A. Because if you if you quit your job and you're desperate and you can't feed yourself, you're going to accept a low salary and you're going to be desperate. But when you go to the other people and you're employed, people smell that. Dogs smell fear, employers smell weakness. Okay, and whichever job that you go to, I suggest going into a sales position because once you learn sales, you could open up your own business and earn a lot of money. What other questions you guys have? It's getting late. Any other questions?
Anyone that's watching on Zoom want to ask any questions, you could raise your hands.
Guys,
Okay, oh yeah.
yes.
Someone once told me the best, like you said, to get into sales but he's like, someone might ask, like, there's no growth. Well, where's the growth in sales? So he answered me, the growth is you could take all your clients with you to doing your next step. Do you agree with that?
100%.
And
100%.
another thing is like, upselling is because I do sales for fish. Upselling is a very big thing. Like if someone
You sell fish at the counter?
No, over the phone, or I go to different clients. I do communities. Like I reach out to different.
Oh, so you wholesale fish?
No, it's retail.
So you're selling
mean,
like a few pounds at a time?
No, saying some pounds. So everything. It could be tuna cans to gefilte fish to fresh fish to spices.
No, but you're selling this to individuals?
Yeah, or stores or companies, or I do a lot of shows.
Okay, so it's wholesale then. So it's not. So you're selling it to companies, to stores.
He does mixed sales, some consumer, some store.
Yeah. So if I was you, I would completely get out of the consumer space. There's no money there as a salesperson. If you have a storefront that people come see you, then there's money there. But you have to follow the money. What?
Here's a storefront, but I work in the office.
Right. So you don't do retail. You do what's called wholesale. You're calling companies and trying to sell them pallets of fish or big quantities of fish.
It's not just companies. I'm reaching out to town. Like for example, take like in Philadelphia, there's like a huge Chabad community. I reach out to them. New Haven, I have the whole New Haven.
Right. But the point is, you're not selling one package of locks to a Nehemiah.
Right.
You're selling 10 boxes of 150 pounds of salmon to shliach in wherever.
Yes or no?
You have to. So you need clarity here. You have to follow the money.
What?
You have to follow the money. The more fish you could sell, the more delish is your paycheck going to be at the end of the month. You have to stop focusing on the small fish and focus on the big fish. And you got
I
to,
don't just do sales. I do that on the side too. Saying when I do sales, that's what I focus on. Because other people do like the wholesale, like to go like for the stores and the company.
why, what do you do besides this? What do you,
I do office work too. I do like logistics for deliveries, saying a bunch of.
yeah, I would get out of that as soon as possible. There's no money in logistics, unless you own a logistics business, by the way, which there's a lot of money in, but there's no money in doing Raskin's logistics. Let him find some new person that just immigrated to the United States of America to do that for, $16 an hour. Focus on the sales. What?
Last few months.
Anyway. But since he does the sales and he makes more money on an upsell, you want to give him a tactic for upselling?
I'm not sure how. First, he has to learn how to sell before he could upsell. And first, he has to be committed 100% to the sales thing and to stop doing. And if that means taking a temporary pay cut and going more for the upside on commission, then that's what you should absolutely do, because the fish business is a great business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. Billions and billions and billions of dollars of fish are bought and sold every single year in the United States of America. And that is a big business. And I have a funny feeling that Raskin's is doing it on a very small scale, but you can learn that business and then you could go multiply that like crazy. And in order to do that, you got to figure out where they make the most money besides over the counter. They might tell you grocery stores. They might tell you restaurants. They might tell you hotels. You might be surprised, caterers, who knows? Find out where they make the most money on wholesale and go wild in pushing fish into the market in whatever they make the most amount of money. And stop doing anything that is not related to sales, and stop doing anything that is related to small sales, because your time is money. I hope I'm not coming off too Guyvidic, guys. Is we have a very short amount of time, and I would love to bring with you guys about everything, but we have a short amount of time, and I just want to deliver a lot of information to you guys. So I hope I'm not coming off douchey. I know I'm coming off a little douchey, but I don't mean to.
You want to ask? Okay, we have someone that wants to ask. Menachem, go ahead.
I got two questions, totally unrelated. Number one is for someone that has maybe a quieter personality or not necessarily the gift of the gab. How would you say that they should come across when they're doing sales? And question number two is, you mentioned a couple times seeing the bigger picture, like taking a certain part of his business and capitalizing on the part that makes the most money. In what way how do you see the big picture, basically?
Yeah, great. So thank you very much for the question. Before I answer that, I just want to make sure that the blue shirt fellow next to you, what are the eights that I gave to you? And then we're going to go to your questions. What are the eights that I gave to you?
To see, first of all, how you can take it to the next level, like in big scale, on a bigger scale.
No, I'm glad I did the chazara with you. Stop doing anything that's not related to sales.
You told me what a teacher should get. You didn't tell me what I should. That I know to stop doing what I'm doing.
Stop doing anything that's not related to sales. And then focus on what makes the most amount of money for Raskin's. Just ask them, Mr. Raskin, what makes the most amount of money? Let me go do that. Two eights. Stop doing anything not related and find the most money in sales and focus on that. Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Let's go to you.
I have a third question now. What happens if, number one, there is no, as this guy said, there's no sales in your company, which there are companies that don't have sales. And number two is, what happens, let's say there is no either sales growth or, let's start with that.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
If there's no sales growth in your company, but you're at that company and you're doing okay, you're supposed to look for a job in sales in the meantime stay at your job? Is that basically what you call them?
There's no opportunity to do sales. First of all, let's just talk not theoretical. What do you do?
Again,
What-
I manage a warehouse for an Amazon business.
You manage the warehouse for an Amazon business. Okay, so, again, it depends. And I only have 2 more minutes left, guys. Look, for your particular situation, do you like what you do?
Depends on the day. Yeah.
What's that?
Yes, relatively. I
Okay,
would like
so
to do more, but as of now,
are you good at what you do?
Not bad.
Are you good or are you bad?
More to the good.
Okay.
Not great.
Why are you not great?
There's more I can learn. There's more I can do.
Okay, so
And there's other industries that could be better at.
my gut tells me that you're probably better than you think you are. And my gut tells me that you're probably better than you are giving yourself credit for. And it's probably 10% humility and 90% confidence. And we have to work that I think that we have to work on, but you're probably better than you're making yourself out to be. But I want to give you an example of how to think bigger in your particular situation. There's many Amazon companies out there that are very good at finding great products and great deals and listing them. Most Amazon companies that I've had the opportunity to work with, that I do coaching for, I coach CEOs and I coach VPs. I charge $1,000 an hour to coach these guys. A lot of the people that I've worked with, they absolutely suck at the actual management part of it. And I see a big business in the Amazon management space where you could have 10 clients that you're managing, like you're a third party person that manages their inventory for them. So let's say they get a shipment from China. It doesn't go to their warehouse. You have a gigantic warehouse that you're doing the processing and sorting and all that good stuff for them. And you're actually doing their back end operation. So that's an example of how to think bigger. So let me just give you one principle, and I have to leave you guys with this, okay? Here's the principle. When it comes to starting your own business, when it comes to being in your own business, every person here, even if you work for somebody, you have a business. Your business is your time. You're selling your time to your boss. So you have a business. The problem is you have one client, and you call that one client the boss. The general concept of owning your own business is you have many bosses. We just called them clients in the business world. So if you had 10 clients, now you have what's called the business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So every person here owns their own business. It's called the business of you. The problem is you only have one client. You need more than one boss. And when you have more than one boss, you have a business. Okay?
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's like
If you're quiet, I like that question. If you're shy and quiet, how do you need sales? That's the nature.
Okay, so you know who was also shy and quiet?
Brand.
The Lubavitcher Rebbe. He broke it. You know who was also shy and quiet? Moshe Rabbeinu. But he became the best salesman in the world. Sold all of Klal Yisrael, which is a very hard thing to do. So how do you look? I think that you need sales for everything, not just business. You need it to get a shidduch. You need it for everything. You need sales for everything. So what I suggest is Grant Cardone, watch all of his sales trainings and you will become a great salesperson.
What about
And-
you said? Right, you said about your sales training.
Right. So my sales training is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But just I learned from Grant. So just go directly to the source. The guy's the man.
Yeah, but you said at the beginning you'd give everyone the code.
I'm
so that
still
they
gonna
could-
I'm still gonna do that. It's amazing. I'm still gonna do that. But Yes, I only have about an hour and a half of content. Grant Cardone has like a year and a half of content. So if I could just leave you with
where do they find Grant stuff? Is just YouTube it or
everywhere. YouTube is the best place. So if I could just leave you guys with one thought, okay, with a few thoughts. I'm gonna leave you guys with a few points. Number one is God wants you to be rich. Number two is the best way to be rich is to own your own business. And the best way on the path to owning your own business is to get good at sales. And the best way to get good at sales is to take an immediate sales opportunity. And the best way to get an opportunity is to learn how to do sales through Grant Cardone. And with that, I want to thank you guys for your time. It was an honor and a privilege to spend this time with you. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are the future Gvirim of Lubavitch, God willing. And don't forget the Rabbi word when you guys all become very, very successful, multi-millionaires.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Rabbi, you could give them my email if they have any questions, okay?
Okay, and then what you say about that code? You're gonna give out a code or something?
I'm gonna send it to you as well.
Okay. It was really.
Blue shirts in the back. Did you have one more question?
Uh-oh.
No, and the rabbi asked, he said to give about the code.
Yeah, he wants the code. He wants to take your sales course. He was asking for the code.
I'll get him the code.
Okay.
I'll get him the code.
Thank you very much. This was awesome. Thank you for giving so much of your time. Incredible. You did more than teach. You did live coaching, which is really awesome. It was cool to watch you as you worked your craft, which is. Thank you very much.
A lot of love. Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care. All the best. I don't know if you.